Hey everybody, it's time to fix my 3D printer. But first we have to open our toolbox upside down. Oh man. Okay, so this is the FEP of your 3D printer, and mine has a little hole in it. I'll explain about that in a minute. Got a little hole in it, which is fine. It happens from time to time. The first time it happened, I was really freaked out because I didn't know why my resin was leaking all over the place. It was real gross. But it's very small. It is right there, the hole. So the only reason I knew that there was a hole is because you can see on here there's this burned in resin. And after I cleaned the FEP, poured all the resin out, got it into the back into the resin bottle, and then put it all back into the container. I was trying to get it all put away. I found out that in fact there was a hole because I saw the resin on the other side. The first time this happened, I freaked out because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And since I was new to the hobby, was new to resin printing, kind of worried. It took me a long time to figure out what to do. And so it took me a bit to figure it out. Now I know. Knowledge is power. So what we're going to do today is going to be just real easy. If you play the drums, this would be something that you would feel probably really familiar to you, because we're going to replace just this plastic part of the FEP. So you order FEP release film, which I have done, and I have this here. It works fine. It works great. Used it before, and there are 1, 2, 3. I think there might have been 5 in this when I first bought it. But this is going to be our new film. Right? Really easy, super simple. What I'm doing right now is cleaning this guy off because there's probably still some residual resin on there somewhere, which is why I'm wearing my gloves and getting everything taken care of. So with this, it's just a ton of screws. You get so many of these screws right here that take the Allen wrenches. And the guy I bought the 3D printer from was really helpful in letting me know, hey, you want to make sure that it's kind of tight, not super tight. And I don't think what he explained in that was that the FEP would do a lot of the work for me. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about when we get there. But the first thing you got to do is find the right size of things. And so, okay, this right here is a number 3 Allen wrench. Very cool. We're going to take off these first screws. These ones are real easy to take off. I'm going to get a napkin here. Put it over to the side so I can put all my screws on this. These are the little screws that actually help your FEP sit down into place on the printer. What do I have? I have a Saturn 3. I have a Saturn 3 by Elegoo. Thanks, Elegoo. Take this, put it there, take this, put it there. Take this, put it there. Alright, got all that. Those 4 come off real easy. I'm gonna put my Allen wrench over here with these 4 so that I keep that contained. These get smaller, which is slightly frustrating. So that's a 3. Now I'm at a 2.5, which is what I need for the next size. These next size screws are smaller in size, and I'll show you what they look like here. Nope, hold on. There we go. This screw looks more like this. And these are the ones that all connect and go all the way around this fit here. They go all the way around that. So we're going to take each of those off and put them over here to the side. And I think, hello viewer, I think we've got enough of this resin cleaned off to where I can be working with this, and I feel pretty good about that. These alcohol pads that I've got are great. Help me feel better. All right. So, as I say, the gloves are coming off. It's Texas. It's hot. It is a big deal. So here we go. So now we work our way around this and collect all these screws into here. You have any questions? Ask away. You just comment. Tell me, hey, I appreciate comments. Because we're just working on this and we'll get it going. Oh man. All right, so 2. And this is what everybody's excited about doing on a Wednesday. Go. Get that. You see what I'm doing? I would love for you to see a little bit better what's going on here. Oh no. Oh yeah, that's better. That way you can see what I'm doing. That is that screw. And this one. We're gonna get it. It's gonna be great. I'll come back to you. Now this one. Yep, there we go. Don't get confused. And then this one here. Hello, welcome. Ask any questions, you got them. I would love to answer them, or just leave a comment, say hey. I like saying hi. And that one comes up. These can be a little tough and a little tricky to get up because they are usually like pierce this with the actual screw, and so it'll like kind of get stuck into the plastic of it. But I'll show you my method for getting the screw. It's actually just taking your hex and like poking down into it. That one. And then this one here. Undo that. Good. And then this. Okay. So now we've gotten to the first bit here. Okay, so those are all those screws. And this is what we've done here so far. We've just gone all the way around and taken off each of these individual screws. Now this was the scary part for me at first, because it comes undone. And I was not ready for that the very first time I did this. So it pops out, just like that. All right, now I have these two pieces. So I'm gonna set big boy here, slide him over. Okay, get you over there. Fantastic with those screws. Now we're gonna undo this because I don't want anything messy on my kitchen table. There we go. And now we get to do all of these screws. That'll be fun. Okay, so again, we'll run around with my alcohol pad. I want to clean this a little bit because there's still just a little bit of resin all around there. Not a big fan of that. Get this all cleaned up, like so. And there we go. Get all that cleaned up. Now, the first time I put this on, the first time I ever messed with this bed, I tried to tighten everything as I went around. And I didn't realize that the method of these screws and how they go on there would tighten it naturally. And I'll explain more about that when we get there. But now we just have a ton of these little screws to undo, which is going to be great. They're tiny, so we'll get them. But these little screws here will help us. So these screws are what keep the FET in the plate, the little sheet here. They're what keep it in the plate. The screws that we took out before are what help tighten it. This is all good stuff to know. All good stuff to know. So there's that. There's that. There we go. If you've watched this far, thank you. You might consider doing me a favor and subscribe to my Patreon, because this is the type of content you can expect from a chill hobby stream where I will hobby, you can hang out, ask questions, vote on what we do next, unless of course things break like this did, and we have to go here. Now what's been neat, what's fun about what I'm currently doing is I'm printing my friend an orc army so that I can have another buddy to play one-page rules with. And let me tell you, I'm real excited about that. So far it's taken about 1 day of printing to get him his list. He made it on one-page rules, shot it over to me, and sent me the files that he had bought and wanted me to print for him. And I am doing that. So, I'm real excited. He's gonna come over in a couple weeks. We've got our date on the calendar already. I'll talk about that in a future video about how to get your friends into wargaming. One way you can get your friends into wargaming is print them an army. Make them play. You'll notice there are a ton of screws on this part. But these are really skinny, really thin, and they will help keep the FEP in place. I must admit, I don't know much about YouTube. I'm learning the things. It's been really fun. I'm enjoying turning the camera on when I hobby. I hope you are enjoying hanging out. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, second to last. And then we're on the home stretch. Okay, very cool. Now, this is another part that freaked me out when I was doing this at first, because this is scary. All right, so I just took out all of the little screws on this side, and so now this is two parts that will separate out. So we have this top part here. Again, we'll set that off to the side. We'll need you in a moment. Get you cleaned up here shortly. And then we have the actual film itself. So there is that film. So this comes up and we throw this away, right? Excuse me while I step over here to my trash can and throw this away. The nice part. Okay, super easy. So we've taken off now the old FEP film. And I'm going to run this alcohol swab over everything here real quick just to get it nice and clean. One more time, it'll dry up real quick because it is alcohol. Alright, so we've cleaned everything up, which is great. So that's clean, and there we go. Very cool. So now we have our two pieces of what holds this together. And it's time to get this guy out. So this is our FEP replacement screen. Hey, if you're watching this as a tutorial, this is something you need to know. This has two protective films on it. Kind of like when you buy a new electronic appliance and on the button menu, you have to peel off the protective screen. Yeah, that's what we've got going on here. And I did not do that the first time I replaced my FEP, and I wondered why everything was so bad. So, good news. One side peels off, just like that. Super easy. We're gonna lay it down on this, just like that. Doesn't have to be super straight or anything. I'll tell you why in a second. Then you peel off this second layer. I hope this tidbit of information saves you hours of work. Because when I first did it, I was a dummy. Okay, so it's hard to see on the screen here, but I've put the plastic down here. Put this film down on here. So now I'm going to take this side back here, and you'll notice there are, on one side, you can't see it on the screen, but there's one side that has divots, and there's one side that is flush. Take the flat side that is completely flush and put it onto the FEP just like that. Fantastic. And now we're ready to start putting this thing back together. here's the issue that you might run into when you're doing this, because it was the issue that I first ran into. I was trying to put this back on and having just the worst time putting the tiny little screw into the hole and trying to poke it down to make it go through the plastic. So what I do is I take the hex wrench that we're using here. What is this? 1.5. Takes this hex wrench and just go all the way around and poke it through each of these little holes where the film is going to go through. And doing this saved me so much time second time around because the hole was actually started. And it was really, really helpful to have that already there. Couple things. All right, so if you're watching this, couple things. I have a lot of extra on the end here. Don't worry about that. We'll take care of it in a second. And it's not tight yet. Don't worry about the tightness of it right now. It's good. We're going to be fine. We're going to get there. So take a screw, put one in. Great. And then I put one up here in the top corner. I like to come over here to the opposite corner and put a second one in. That way I'm getting all the corners of this thing taken care of. And that way it's going to stay together as I work my way all the way around and get this thing into it. If you're watching, you want to leave a comment, say hi, throw up an emoji of however you're feeling at the moment. If you're confused as to what's going on, that'd be great. You can just let me know that too. I have been confused with 3D printing before. But we're gonna do this. This is gonna be great. Okay. So I'm gonna show you what I've got here right now. So all I've done so far is put in 4 screws. Wow. On the corners, right? So just 4 screws on the corner there. And we still have all this extra plastic. We'll deal with that in a second. Don't worry. Now, I'm just going to work my way around and put these screws where they're supposed to go. And as I put them in, it's going to be grabbing onto the film. It's going to be making it a little tighter as we go, but it'll be the step after this that really tightens it up. And it's pretty dummy proof, because if I can do it, you can do it. Because trust me, I'm a dummy. I don't know what I'm doing. I told you, it took me several tries to get this thing right. Well, welcome, glad you're here, glad you're watching. This is the type of content that you are going to enjoy if you hang around this channel. This is the type of stuff we're going to get to do. And get all the screws in just like this. And work our way around. I would really love to be listening to some lo-fi hits right now. That would just kind of make this experience. Be putting something on in the background. Oh, I just finished Aragon. I'm sure far behind most people. One of my daughters is a avid reader and reads more books than I can ever possibly hope to consume. And she was telling me to read all these different books, and I told her to pick one series she wanted me to read. She chose Aragon. So just finished book 1 yesterday, and that was exciting. I enjoyed it. I'm going to look forward to getting into book 2. Unfortunately, I saw the movie, and the movie was hot garbage. It was not great. But the book was really fun. I really enjoyed it. And so I'm glad that I can share that with her. And if you would normally be listening to an audiobook right now, let me know what you'd like to be listening to as well, because it's fun. You can hang out that way. All right, getting all the way around. So I've done all the top side and all the corner here. Really good. Getting our way around this. And getting to here as well. All right, we're making it. We're making it. If you're just now joining, I am repairing the FEP of my 3D printer. I have a Saturn III. Hole got poked into it, probably because I left something on there and then sent a print job through, and the hardened resin poked through this plastic here, created a hole. And so this is me replacing it. Super easy to do, probably the 3rd time you do this, because you get into the groove and you know what to do. And fortunately, the films that I ordered came in like a pack of 5. So I've got 2 or 3 left in my pack. Super helpful, really easy. Get onto here. Curious, what does this button do? Huh. Okay, cool. If you're watching, this is the first time I've gone live from my phone. Would you do me a favor and just send an emoji or something like that real quick in the chat so I can see what it looks like on my phone? I'm new to YouTube. I don't know what I'm doing. This is all new to me. We'll lift the curtain there. But if one of you would just mind sending a quick chat through so I can see what it looks like on my phone, I would appreciate it. It would be helpful to me to learn. If you wouldn't mind, it'd be great. All right, 4 screws left. 4 left. It's gonna be good. And number 3, right in here. Get this done. And then here, putting this through. Done. All right, last screw. At this point now, we've made our way all the way around the thing. Okay. So, this is what we currently have. See a little bit of dust here. Take care of that. Wipe it off. Fantastic. So I've got this done here. All the screws are nice and tight all the way around. Tighten them as I went. Might give them each a little bit more. Might maybe see if any of them can do a quarter turn more just to make sure. This This next step does not have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be clean. You just need to do it. This all here is excess. I just take scissors and go around it. This does not have to be pretty. It does not have to be clean, because this is going to get put into the upper part of the plate, not the plate, upper part of the FEP, and you won't see it. So I've cut all this off. Cut this here. There's a little lip all the way around. Not a big deal. Don't worry about that. Okay, so set that aside. Here is the top part. What you might see or notice is that there is a slight height difference in this outer rim and this inner one. And the screw holes down here are set down further in there. So what that's going to do for us is it's going to automatically tighten this film as we go all the way around it. So you don't need to worry about how this is going to work. You just put it down there, all the way around. And it works really, really well. And thank you for that comment. I'm glad to do it. I'm glad to be doing this. And I need to learn things. Oh, okay. I just did a thing. It's great. Nope. Nope. Oh, there you go. Hey, you're welcome. Here for you. I found some tutorials online, but as someone who needs to see it to understand it, this is what we had to do. Okay. So I just put it down in there, right? It still feels really loose. Don't freak out at this stage, okay? Because we're going to tighten it. It's going to get tight automatically because of the screws and the process that we're doing. So I'm going to move this out of the way to my trash. I'm going to bring this over here. And again, frustratingly, each of these screws are a different hex size. So I'm putting away my 1.5. I now have, what's up? My 2. It's my 2 size hex screw. And just like I did with the first time, I'm going to poke holes into these screw holes all the way around. And what this is going to do is going to let me get, oh, let me do that one too. Oh, okay, hold on, let me explain. It's going to let me get these screws through really easily and in a way that is conducive. Okay, so again, as you're doing this process, don't freak out, because you've got some stuff going on here. This screw hole here in the middle and this one here in the middle are the ones that attach this to your 3D printer when you come back around. It's these guys. Make sure you poke holes through those too, otherwise you're going to wonder why it's not screwing onto the 3D printer. When you get back around to it, it's going to be frustrating. Why, do you ask? How do I know this, do you ask? It's just my lived experience. So, these are going to be a little challenging to get started. But once you thread it, okay, that one went in super easy. Don't screw it in all the way. So don't go this one all the way in. Screw it in a little bit. Come to the opposite corner. I screwed in this one. I'm going to go over here. Come to the opposite corner. Try to get that one threaded as well. Okay, that one threaded. Same deal. This one, this one, this one. I want to come up here and screw this one in. Just in the opposite corner as well. That one's threaded. And then the last corner down here. So this process, if you can do this and get these 4 things threaded all the way around, it's going to really, really help. Now this one, I'm struggling to thread this one a little bit. So I'm going to add some pressure here. See if I can't get it threaded. Is it? Okay, there we go. I'll show you what I did again. I put in these 4 screws, right? Top, bottom. Yeah, that's a good sound. Okay, so you'll notice it's already way tighter than it was when we put it in. And it sounds super cool. Hi, Will and Hart. How you doing? It sounds really, really cool. So, this is tightening it up now. So when you were putting it on before and you were noticing how loose it was, don't worry about it. It's fine. Trust the process. Go around. So the last thing that I was doing is the last time, it does sound like drums. If you've ever played drums before, it's like the same type of thing of replacing a drum head. The last time when I was going around with the smaller screws, I was tightening them all the way as I went around. You can do that on this step, but I don't suggest it. Instead, go around the whole thing, get it threaded, started threaded, and then go back to each screw and tighten it after you get it just threaded and started. And again, if you've ever replaced a drum head, you are familiar with this process. And if you are not a musician and have not replaced a drum head, this is going to feel foreign, and that's fine. But the good news is, we're almost done. Yeah. Thank you, Jamie, for saying that. Let's call it dumb taxes. I paid my dumb taxes, so you don't have to. Please don't. Because yeah, I tried on my very first one. Not only did I not remove one side of the film, I tried to manually tighten it my first time, and it made this step that I'm doing here right now so hard because the FEP was already tight on it, so much so that I couldn't get around and tighten the screws. Okay, so I've got everything threaded except for, nope, that one hit. I was gonna say except for these 2 on this side. They're giving me a little bit of trouble. Now they are. Okay, so everything is threaded. We have a great drum sound. Fantastic. So now it's all threaded. I'm going to go around and just tighten the screws. That's all I'm doing. And if you are unfamiliar, don't know your way around a hex thing, that's fine. This is your hex thing. You've probably seen this featured in great movies like IKEA, Burgerstadt, or this table. When you're tightening screws with a hex wrench like this, it's really easy to use this way, if your screw's down here, to just turn it with your fingers and twist it around like that. That's really easy to do. But it's not going to get your screws super tight. When you get to the point when you are tightening the screw, turn it down like this and put this short end into the screw, and then use this long handle to get a lot more leverage, and it'll help tighten your screw a lot easier than trying to tighten it like this with the top way. So I'm just flipping this guy around, and I'm going to use it to get some real good leverage on these screws as I work my way around. And don't feel bad if you didn't know that. We're all learning here. Another thing that's important to think about. You don't have to, you can tighten this thing down real hard and real tight. But really all you're trying to do is get this black part here flush or a little underneath this outside rim. You're just trying to make it go right down through there a little bit. Do you see how this here, you can barely see how it's sticking up over the edge there a little bit? Just a tiny bit. As I go around and tighten it, you'll be able to see it drop down and you'll see this edge form all around here. You're just trying to get it flush or a little bit down past that. The screws will let you, it will let you over tighten it. Don't worry, just try to get it down past the edge. You can feel it with your finger if that helps you feel where it's supposed to be. You can eyeball it, see it with your eye. And you notice it drops down just below the ledge. That's all you need. Hey puppy. Not a good girl. She's a good girl. Yeah. My dog is helpful. She likes to help. Alright, here we go. That's screwed in. Now we're getting this part screwed in here. And we are almost done. We are almost done. Like I said, really intimidating the first time I tried to do this. Really tough. Really hard. Please let me pay my dumb taxes for you. Oh, I missed that. Come back. I want to see all of them. No, come back. I missed that little chat that you just sent, and that makes me sad. I want to see it. All messages? Okay, yeah. Oh no, I broke it. It's a Saturn 3 is what I've got. Saturn 3 is what I'm repairing right now. And I'm so sorry, whoever just commented before that. I missed your comment. I apologize. But, okay. I'm looking now all the way around. And it is flush. Okay. I'm fancy. I bought it secondhand. Thank you, Facebook Marketplace. I'm not fancy, I'm cheap. That's why I have a 3D printer. So, good news. This is all flush here. And again, we've got a great drum sound. Feels good. And when you press on it a little bit, it has a little bit of give, which is what you want. It's tight, not too tight. So, those are all those screws. So I'm going to put back my 2.5. And now remember, we have our last 4 screws that go into the corners of these. These are the ones that stick out really far, and they're what help get the FET to be in the right spot on your 3D printer. And these should go in super easy. Should go in real easy. Again, just using the screw like that. Perfect. Going in this way. Like that. The only reason I have a Saturn 3 is because that was what was available when I got started 3D printing. I was just talking to Old Ones with Dice a couple days ago. Neat creator, also doing some one-page rules content. And he said he's got a Saturn 2, maybe the one before that. So it works just fine for him. and he has no need to update whatsoever. Okay, so we are done. We did it. So the FEP has been replaced. I've got my old one in the trash. Got my new one here. And I'm looking at my time. It took about 45 minutes. And it's with me explaining my steps all along the way. So the first time you do this, it might take you about an hour. You might be faster than I am. If you are experienced, which I don't feel like I am, I'm just still learning and getting to the hang of this. So here is this. Completely done, fantastic, and it's ready to go back on the printer. And you remember how we left some of that along the edge? I have just a little bit over here. That's not really gonna affect my printing at all, so I'm not worried about it. You shouldn't be either. All right, so I'm gonna get this put back onto my printer, and I'm going to continue printing my friend, his orc army, and I'm going to continue on with the rest of my day. If you enjoyed this live stream, this is what I plan on doing on a weekly basis for patrons and members of the YouTube channel. I hope you're having a great time. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for joining, hanging out. Don't worry about it. This is a hobby. Have fun. I want you to have fun. Enjoy yourself and to enjoy this great thing that we get to do. So thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you around. Have a great day, guys. Bye.